Hello everyone, this is the third video in a series. What I'm doing is I'm covering ways that a photographer can use to go ahead and upload their photographs to iNaturalist. And this all uses the web interface instead of using the phone. I know a lot of people feel that you're only supposed to use your phone to do iNaturalist. While it's convenient and easy, for a lot of subjects like birds and things like that, photographers have an advantage and they use their camera and they can actually get closer pictures that are more identifiable. I've seen a number of people post pictures of birds using their iPhones and things like that. And a lot of times the bird is way too small in the frame to be able to identify. So it winds up not being as useful as an observation. And I want to encourage a lot of photographers to start uploading pictures of the subjects they find in the wild. And here's one of the other ways to do that. This video, I used a GPS device. No, actually I used my phone and I created a track log. There are about several different apps out there depending on if you're iPhone or Android. There are a number of views out there. You can find one that works best for you, but it's creating a track log and it puts it in this format called GPX, and Lightroom picks up GPX files very well. So what I did several years ago, I went ahead and created a track log, and we're going to go through the workflow that I did to assign all the GPS coordinates. This video I'll go through a little bit. I won't go through as much detail on how I process the pictures, but I'll show you how I upload them and what you will see as you upload them. Here we go in. Here's the grid of pictures that I took at Texas City Dike back in March, I think 2019. And what we'll do here is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go the first thing I do in this workflow is I go ahead and add all the GPS coordinates. What I'll do is I'll load a track log and load this track log, and it's going to be the same one that was on the screen as I had practiced that. But here you have this track log. What I did is I drove down Texas City Dike and then I drove back. I started at the beginning and I ended the track at the end. So you see here I started about 8 or 9 in the morning and ended at about 9 in the morning and ended almost about 11 o'clock. So it took me about 2 hours to cover about 9 miles. So I went about 4.5 miles down the dike and about 4.5 miles back. So I have this GPS track. Now I'll make sure that all my photos are selected. So I'll just do Command or Control A to select all my photos. And then I'll go down to this little squiggle line that I use to load the track log, but I'll also use it to auto tag 210 selected photos. Oh, what's interesting here is you can actually, if you know for your phone, your camera were not set properly. One of the things I guess I didn't talk about is you got to make sure that your camera is set to the current time zone, current time zone and daylight savings time and that sort of thing. But if you forget it and you're offset by an hour, you can use this set track log offset. This case, they're actually the same, but I'll go ahead and click on this offset, but it'll allow you to adjust things this way. As you see, the selected photos go from 9:06 a.m. to 10:52 a.m. and the photos. So here's this track log, and if you need to adjust it, you can use this slider and adjust it a little bit. We don't need to adjust it, so I'll click cancel. But then I'll go here, go to select a little squiggle line, and then auto tag 210 selected photos. I just go ahead and do this at the beginning of the whole process because I have a tendency that since I didn't always geotag all the pictures. I didn't always geotag whenever I do photography. I go ahead and do that very beginning of the process because I know I'm going to be posting pictures to iNaturalist because that was the main reason for this trip. The light was pretty miserable. It was a cloudy day, and I knew that I wouldn't be really doing very serious photography. I just kind of wanted to get out. And I wanted to record what I saw. So now you see all the different photos grouped together and their different geographic locations. So that's the first step in the workflow. And what I'm going to do here is I put photos in a collection to go ahead and leave a little bit smaller set to be able to process. So I can go in this demo. So here, demo, I have about 26 photos here. What I'll do here is I'll go through my typical things about processing them. So I'll go through here and pick the photos that I think I'm going to go ahead and put in iNaturalist. So starts off, I'll just double click here, look at that. The brown pelican looks pretty good. This one looks maybe a little better. I like that one a little bit better. So I think that's probably already processed. So I'll just go ahead and choose that guy, and I'll do my typical, put a 1 rating on it. White pelicans. That's a possibility, but I might keep going because I think I might have more. Ring-billed gull. That one looks pretty good. And here's a juvenile bird. You know, notice that the bill has the sort of the black tip on it, and the sort of the legs are kind of pinkish, and it's not, you know, it's got that brown and stuff like that. So it's an immature bird. Go through here. Here's a mature ring-billed gull, so I'll put a 1. So here's a case where I want to, if I see juveniles and adults, I will generally go ahead and try to post observations of both as separate observations. There's the laughing gulls. Go ahead and put a 1 here. Those look pretty good. Laughing gull sitting, an immature one. Notice here they have black heads. This is that transition period when the molting is starting, and you can start to see here there's some black starting on in the head of this bird. So I'll go ahead and that's an interesting observation. So you can have different plumages and things like that. So you can see this is a transition period. That's a pretty blurry photo. That was the bird in the foreground was kind of blurred. Maybe the next one might not have it. This is the 2 birds together. Most of the Caspian terns. Caspian tern. Here's another laughing gull. Maybe slightly different transition in plumage, but I think the other one is better. It's just as good. So I'll just go ahead and pass by. Here's a ruddy turnstone, so I'll just go ahead and set that to 1. That one might be better, so I'll just go back to here, set it to 0, and put that to a 1. The trash and the ring-billed gull, I don't think I'm interested in doing that one. But a big group of white pelicans. This is a closer group. I'll just go ahead and I like that other group maybe a little bit better. So some possibilities there. So now through, this is 25, 26 photos that I've gone through really quickly. And you go through here, and I will go ahead and put attribute 1 star. And you see that I have 11 photos here. Between the brown pelicans, these are basically in the same place. I think I'll go ahead and put a 0 there and eliminate that one. You have ring-billed gull, mature one, the black-headed laughing gulls, the transitioning laughing gull, Caspian terns. I think I like this one better for observation, so I'll just go ahead and click that and make it go away. There's the ruddy turnstone and the white pelicans. I think I like this white pelican better, and I'll just go ahead and click on the white star. I can either click on the star to make it go away, or I can type a 0. So here's 8 photos. We'll go through here real quick. This one's already cropped nicely, so I don't worry about it. This one's cropped nicely. This one I would go ahead and crop a little bit closer, just to make it obvious as to what the subject is. Yeah, there's the birds in the foreground. I don't want them to distract as much, even though they are there distracting. I just go ahead and make it like here, so we know that that's the ring-billed, that's the subject of the observation. Here, 2 laughing gulls, so I'll just go ahead and make this crop real quick, like this. The guy sitting there on the pavement. Maybe I'll make this vertical, like that. But I like the idea of being able to document both the transitioning, particularly when there's a molting change, that transition, so people looking at it, they'll know that in late March, for example, not all the laughing gulls have molted to full summer plumage. They won't know the numbers, but we'll know that it's a possibility. This is a pretty tightly cropped photo of the Caspian terns. That's good. Go ahead and keep going. Here, I kind of like the position and the fact that that ruddy turnstone picked up some food, so I'll click. I'll click on the crop so that it's obvious this is a subject. And we'll go to the next one. Here's a big group of white pelicans. There's a whole bunch of them. I already cropped this once before, so I'll go ahead and just maybe crop a little bit tighter. And that should be the end of them. So I'll just go to G here, click, click, and select all of them. And then I'm going to go to Export. And then I'm going to use that same iNat submission export. So I'm going to iNat submissions. And the same size, everything that I've been doing in all the other videos. So go ahead and do that. Key here is the default is to remove location information. Click that off. The personal info, well, it doesn't matter because I don't think I have any. I'm not watermarking iNat photos, and I don't do a post-processing preset. So I'll just go ahead and click Export, and you'll see they'll be exporting. I'll bring iNaturalist back and do the same thing. Go to click that Upload button, choose Files, and I will go to Desktop, iNat Submissions, Open, and I'll see this group here. Go down and do that first 9. After the last demo, click Open. And we have all those observations coming in. And we'll go through here. I'd already keyworded a lot of these because in the past I've done that. And that's one of the things that I do usually in normal processing. I've forgotten that I didn't demonstrate that. But you see I already keyworded these with the name of the bird and the scientific name. So you see they automatically populated. So you see I have all of them. If you keyword all of them ahead of time, you'll have all of the information there. You'll have the ID. I'll do another demo on how I go through and I keyword all these pictures and things that I take along the way, because I hadn't been doing that in the other ones. But here we go. Just go ahead and click Submit 8 observations, and here you go. So they're uploaded. Going to my observations. Let's go ahead and click the green dot, make it full screen. So you see the observations are here, and so I put it in 8 observations, and we're all ready. They're already official. They're uploaded. And that's all you have to do. So to go ahead and to recap, what I did was I went through, I opened the photos, I added the track log data because I gathered a track of GPS coordinates over time. So the GPS coordinates were available through a track log that I created on my phone using GPS motion, I think. It's the app that I use, I think, has been discontinued. And unfortunately, I have to, and maybe in the comments, I'll go ahead and put a couple of names of apps that can do that. But I went ahead and added the GPS coordinates. Another thing that I didn't do that I didn't show you to do is I actually went ahead and captioned. I basically added keywords to a lot of these photos. So I identified a lot of the birds ahead of time, and I added that information to the metadata, and so that was included in the export. And then I just went ahead and exported them at 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels, so they're a small size to upload quickly. Put them in a folder, uploaded that, then selected that folder in the selection page for iNaturalist. Checked to make sure that all the data looked good, and I was finished. They were all uploaded, and hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you, and you can do this in the future. Really hope that a lot of photographers will go ahead and take advantage of some of their photos. And in the class presentation that I did for Featherfest, I talked about some of the information that you can get, and this information gets better and better as long as people are submitting photos and submitting observations of things they see in the wild. So hopefully this is good for you. I hope you get some of the information out of this, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. We'll see you later. Bye.